Oh man, it was like a giant fish hook. Because you hit on the things that I was looking for, because I'm already in the mindset of I want a bunch of doors to pay me, and that was exactly what you talked about, creating these lead generation sites that can actually, be that cash flow door that I can go out and sell that door and it just keeps paying every month. So.
You're getting hit on both sides, right? You quit your job, you jump in there, you start another business, and you start getting punched in the face. And so you're sitting on Facebook one day, kind of like, what the hell am I about to do? And then this silly little kid named Josh Osborne comes across your thing right there and kind of hooks you, huh?
Oh man, it was like a giant fish hook. Because you hit on the things that I was looking for, because I'm already in the mindset of I want a bunch of doors to pay me, and that was exactly what you talked about, creating these lead generation sites that can actually, be that cash flow door that I can go out and sell that door and it just keeps paying every month. So that really hooked me. And I kicked around the idea for about 6 weeks or so. And of course, my wife's going to, freak if I tell her I'm going to start another business in the midst of starting a business. So yeah, that was a lot going into my decision making there.
So you end up kicking the idea around for a little bit, and it just had its hooks in, and you just had to come, right? So you get in, you say you got in around October, right? So
I signed up in August, and then I just started trying to figure everything out. I built my agency site. We started making some cold calls and I dabbled in it, and really didn't do much until, end of November, Thanksgiving. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm on every call. I'm following what you guys are posting out there on Facebook in the group, trying to figure this thing out. And then, OGS comes along and I'm like, I don't have time to do this, but I got to do it. Because we'd been talking about massive action this whole time last fall. And I was like, I know that's what I need to do. I don't have the time to do it. But so I set my architecture business basically on hold for 10 days. And I just focused on this. And it was all day long, every day for me to shoot these screencasts. So,
that's really you got in here. You pretty much, in case you guys don't know, if you're brand new or anything that you're just getting in, OGS is Operation Greenstream. Mr. Hal Fisher, you guys will learn about him. He's my business partner, one of my best friends, runs what we call Soldiers of Sales. And before Soldiers of Sales, lately we've been so full before we even get there. But normally we run what we call Operation Greenstream, because we have a few people on the waiting list and we make them pretty much compete. What we're doing is we're like, hey, if you don't put in the work at Operation Greenstream, then we can't really have you in Soldiers of Sales anyway, because we know you're not going to put in the work. It's not going to be worth your money. And so we put together this thing called Operation Greenstream, which at the time, I think the first one that you went to was like a 14-day, or was it a 10-day?
It was a 10.
10 days. So It's 10 days, 10 screencasts a day. And so, Paul, you jumped in there and you shot 10 screencasts a day for 10 days. And what did just that by itself do for your business?
Oh, that by itself, it just put a lot in the pipe. Really that's really what it did. And I ended up coming out on the end of December, getting one guy to come on and say, let's do this thing. He ended up paying for his whole website all up front. So it was a huge windfall and a huge just shot in the arm of like, man, this thing's working. And at the same time, actually, there were two of them. So the second one was kind of almost a month-long process of getting them to actually come on board. But the second one invited me into another group, a BNI group. And so I got in the group and immediately got a couple of people out of that group. So this thing just started blowing up on me. And I've got 5 sites to build at the end of January.
That's awesome. So right away, just by taking that massive imperfect action, because still at that point, right, Paul, you probably hadn't put up a lot of websites, ranked a lot of websites. You just had to step outside of who you normally are, right? Like my friends, And you had to say, fuck it. I just got to go. I just got to take this massive imperfect action